and said, "It sounds like the young master is home. He is always closing that door with too much force." Concern curled through Mina, and she lowered the wooden spoon onto the small plate before her on the stone counter. There were days she could read her brother's mood simply from how he entered his country manner, without the benefit of a butler to see to such needs as opening and closing doors. He managed the task himself, one greatly aided by his emotional ups and downs. Gently removing the cap from her hair, she muttered, "I will see if he will eat with us, Mrs. Bell." Mina hurried up the stairs leading from the kitchen, down the servants' staircase, and into the lower floor hallway that was no longer lined with grand paintings. The sweet melody of a sound being played on the pianoforte rode the air, and her concern grew. Whenever Anthony was troubled, he turned to the comforting solace of music, especially Beethoven. Did this mean he had been denied the loan by Drummond's Bank? She all but ran to the sparsely furnished music room and pushed open the ajar door. Anthony's fingers faltered at her entry, and he shifted on the bench to face her. Mina stopped, her breath catching at the wild look of fear in his dark green eyes, before her brother shuttered his expression. "Anthony, what is it?" She took a few more steps into the room. "Please, just tell me whatever it is. We will work it out together." He inhaled a shaky breath and released it heavily. "The bank denied our loan. They would listen to none of my plans." Mina gripped her fingers until they ached. This was a disaster indeed. "Did they say why?" "The last 2 loans are still being paid on, and they do not believe I have the confidence to manage a 3rd, he said with a harsh laugh. "Though I am Viscount Crawford, no heiresses are lining up to marry me for my title. The bankers are aware of this. One of them even went as far as to say agriculture is dead. It is all about manufacturing now, and we do not have the tools or men of the trade to venture out from farming." Mina and her brother had spoken of it at length before he made the journey to London. Still, though they had prepared for a rejection of their application, Mina had not really envisioned the consequences of that rejection. Mrs. Bell had not been paid a salary in almost a year, and the lone footman and stable boy had their own families to care for and feed. They needed to be paid. Their manor was also in dire need of repairs and proper staffing and supplies of food and other necessities to see them through for the rest of the year. The larder and pantry were almost empty. "I still have Mamma's necklace. We can pawn it for a tidy sum to see us through this year until we can come up with another plan," she said staunchly. "We will practice greater economy and retrench even further." "Retrench further? Mina, we are barely holding on. What more can I do? Whatever income we have goes into paying off loans and debts." Guilt clawed at her with raking talons. Before their father had passed away 5 years ago, there had been a plan to help the family replenish their coffers. But Mina had destroyed it with her reckless impetuosity and ruined herself spectacularly and irrevocably by eloping. She'd naively wished for a grand sort of adventure. Well, the future would be an adventure indeed. Mina's heart clenched at the uncertainty that gripped her. "I have to leave in the morning," Anthony said suddenly, unable to meet her eyes. "Where do you go?" "Perhaps to London," he said with a bitter twist to his mouth. "The season will start in a few weeks. Do you remember Lord Phineas Moulton? He recently married an American heiress, and his estates were saved. Perhaps I might do the same for us." A desperate hope when Mina could not imagine who would extend any invitations to their family. "Where will you stay? Our townhouse in Mayfair was recently let." Anthony tilted his head to the ceiling and pinched the bridge of his nose. She hated seeing him like this. Loath to think about how she had failed her family by running away with a gentleman she had thought herself in love with, she slowly removed the apron. Realizing her fingers shook, Mina took a calming breath. There was an air of desperation about her brother. It informed her that more than the